So on the other side of that, tell me about something great that happened to you on social media.
Okay, let's see. Actually, how funny, this too has to do with dog rescue. There's a group in Illinois, Indiana, and they had a post. So they had a dog, and I responded, but my lesson now is I've decided I would offer to foster first. Gets along well, blah, blah, blah. Well, it just sent something about looking into possibly fostering in the future. And I got this wonderful response from the woman that found it, and she said, "Oh my God, yes, I know exactly who you are. I've read so many of your posts. I love your insights. I'm so honored you want to work with us." It was like the total opposite of me. And I didn't realize I was known at all, but she said, "Oh God, no." You know, she said, "I always know that I can count for very honest, straight responses from you. I like your philosophy on things." And it was wonderful. I got a lot of recognition. Yeah, it was very nice. Well, you know what? It reaffirmed my commitment to keeping my toe in rescue, and I'll get more involved when I retire. I have to admit, I think the crazy bitch, I was kind of like, oh my God, if that's what this is going to bring into my life, back up. And this kind of reiterated it. It reminded me that there's a heck of a lot of really good people doing this work. The biggest thing that Facebook constantly reminds me is about diversity. You know, that there's a lot of really good people and really funny people, and there's some real fucking assholes. And but on Facebook, at least the pages I'm on, because of course I'll block raving Trumpettes and stuff. I feel like the good far outweighs the bad from what I see. And there's some wonderful human interest stories, rescues of animals, and the floods. You know, some of the stories that were posted about people helping in the hurricane, both in Florida and in Texas, and now in I don't know, there's more good news that comes across Facebook than I think there does regular news, and it just keeps me in a more positive perspective. That's probably the thing I like it the best for. So I think that's the best part. It keeps my faith in people up.
Remember when Trump's voting commission was talking about getting all the voter registration information from all the states, including protected information? And at first, our Secretary of State, Michelle Reagan, was saying, she was going to go along with it like a sheep, she was just going to release all this information. Well, I actually texted her office on Facebook, or personal messaged her office on Facebook, at her Facebook website, and I explained why I thought this was such a bad idea. Oh, and I also did that for F.Ann Rodriguez, who's our Pima County voter registrar, because she said she wasn't going to do it. And I Facebook messaged her saying, thank you for not doing it. It's really important. And I got a nice response from her saying, it's important that we protect our information. And then from Michelle Reagan's office, I did finally get a message, and it wasn't actually all that long, it was a couple days, that she had rethought her position after hearing from a lot of people, and that she was not going to let that information just give it away. She was maybe going to release part of it, but only if they could justify even that. And as far as I know, she has not released any information. So I felt like actually my voice got heard a little bit more, and I also got responses that were more direct and less formulaic. Well, like I said, I've come back in contact with people I hadn't seen or talked about or read about or thought about in years, and so that's really been nice. And I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot about different ways that people communicate with electronics, and that, like I said, I've had my few faux pas there, but on the whole, I've learned some really cool stuff. And in a lot of ways, I hear a lot more about things going on through Facebook. There's a lot of petitions and things to sign. In a lot of ways, it's a great way to sort of get your voice out and get it to be heard if you're going to do any kind of online petitions or making your voice heard. You know, there's a real easy way to get stuff out. It's also a great way to communicate politically. I email a lot of my representatives, but you know what? A lot of times that sort of gets lost. The few times I've actually messaged my representatives or political figures on Facebook, I actually stand a much greater chance of getting an actual message back from them, from actually that person, or from somebody who's, you know, fairly higher up in their office, than I do if I just get a form response via email. And I was also able to post their responses on my Facebook page, which then, you know, people who see my Facebook page were able to see that. And it was, you know, so it was like a way of saying, hey, this is what our representatives are saying and doing.
Just anything? Like, my friend David showed me some pretty hilarious videos of a video game I played, and it kept me laughing for a couple of days.
I met my boyfriend on Instagram, and I was one of those people who thought meeting the love of your life on any dating website or any social media was ridiculous and impossible, and I didn't understand how someone could meet someone without even actually meeting them. My aunt and uncle met each other on a dating website, and they're the happiest they could ever be, and it's wonderful. It happens to some people. I never in a million years thought it would happen to me. And one day I received a follower on Instagram, and I clicked on the picture, and I thought he was really cute. And so I messaged him and said, hey, I think you look familiar. And I totally didn't, had no idea, so I never saw him in my life. But it started a conversation. And after that short little conversation at 1 o'clock in the morning on a random day, I immediately wanted to be a part of this person's life, and I wanted him to be a part of mine. And I wanted to just talk to him and find out about him. And after a couple days of talking to him through Instagram and getting his phone number and end up calling him, talking to him verbally on the phone, we ended up finding more things out. And sure enough, he lived 10 minutes away from my house, Tucson. And with that irony, it's just beyond my imagination, but him and I started Skyping, using that social media, and started Skyping each other, and we Skyped each other for hours, almost all through the night, of just talking about random stuff, and talking about the world, and talking about how it's become, and what will it become, and we decided to see each other when I went to Tucson. And it could have gone two ways. I could have met a sociopath. I could have met this crazy lunatic who wanted to get my kidneys and sell them on the internet. Or, you know, but I didn't. I honestly think I met the love of my life, and when I saw him, it was the most incrediblest thing ever. And for him and I talking about our story and meeting each other online, he also didn't think he would meet the love of his life online. But sure enough, if I never messaged him, and if he never found a random person that was on Instagram, then I don't think we would be living together today. And that's probably, the best thing that's happened to me through social media. Social media is huge, and every day and everyone that allows it to be helpful for them. And I could have logged out of Instagram and Facebook and could have been completely away from all social media, but if I were to, then I would have lost that opportunity to meet Zach, and maybe there could be other opportunities out there. I hope to be a writer one day, and maybe I can be a writer through the internet and do a blog and write about my life and write about my story and go from there. And I think just with using the social media, it is definitely a good and bad thing, but it's expanding and we are allowing it to be a good thing for us.
I don't know if I would call it amazing, but very recently I had two interesting social media experiences. One was very like cliche, sort of, oh, I had this great friend back in elementary school and we were the best of friends, and then she moved away, blah, blah, blah. And we've stayed friends on Facebook, and she recently hit me up and we started chatting, and it was like we never stopped talking. It was really cool. So that was one, like, oh, yes, let's put a bow tie on it. It's so beautiful. But then this other one, I was at, oh my gosh, so there's this guy that in high school was totally in love with me and was not reciprocated by yours truly. But I just didn't know any better in high school, and so I definitely, like, now looking back, I'm like, oh, I was totally leading him on with no intention of ever going down that path. But we went to prom together. And to his prom, he was a lot older than I was. So anyways, so we had this like experience in high school, right? And once he graduated, I was kind of like, oh, good, now I don't have to deal with him anymore. But again, we stayed friends on Facebook and we never really talked. Well, the other day, I was at the grocery store and I was walking down the aisle, and who do I see coming at me but this guy? And I like didn't know what to say. So I just sort of like awkwardly smiled at him, you know, and walked past. And he didn't say anything either. And he sort of awkwardly smiled at me. And they walked past. And we had this like very silent, awkward exchange. And then after I passed him, I was like, oh my gosh, he thinks I totally don't even know who he is. Like, I'm the most rude person ever that I broke his heart in high school. And then I won't even acknowledge him in the grocery store. And does he know that I know that that's who he was? He doesn't even know. I don't know. And so all these things running through my mind. And then later that day, I checked my Facebook, and he hit me up, messaged me, and was like, hey, so I know that was really awkward in the store. I just wanted you to know that I wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't know how to say, haven't talked to you in 10 years. What's up? And I was like, oh, good, because that's how I feel, too. And then we started chatting about our kids, and it was like his daughter, and blah, blah, blah. So it was cool, but it was sad that we had this face-to-face encounter and neither one of us could say anything or did say anything, and then it was way easier for him to just message me and clear the air that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would call that amazing. It definitely taught me, I like to think of myself, because I'm super prideful, of that like, oh, well, all of my generation doesn't know how to communicate, but I can communicate. I prefer to have face-to-face conversations. And then it turns out, no, you dumb, you still use Facebook to make life easier because you can say things on Facebook that are way awkward to say face-to-face. So it was kind of a realization for me that is true, even of me, even though I'd like to consider myself different from the norm, you know.
Yeah, see, social media is just not that impactful in my life, I don't think. See posts that I respond to emotionally, I guess, sometimes, but nothing has ever been a major life event or has ever been something that I remembered more than a day later. It's usually, if I have any reaction to it, it's in the moment.